Welcome to the Are You GCSE Physics Ready playlist. This playlist is packed with example questions and guided solutions for every GCSE Physics topic. So it's the perfect tool to help you test your understanding. If you feel like you might need a quick review of this topic before having a go at the questions, or you would just like the ideal revision companion for these videos, then do make sure to download my free GCSE Physics revision notes, linked in the description below. If you're ready, let's dive in. Okay, life cycle of stars. So, first bit on the left here, audit these phases: red giant, nebula, white dwarf, protostar, and what stage that's in at the moment. So first thing is our nebula, that's our dust and gas, which is dragged together to form a protostar. Then we've missed out our stage of the sun at the minute, so we'll talk about that in a second. After that, it's going to be into a red giant, and then eventually left behind a white dwarf. What stage is our sun at the moment? It is in its main sequence stage. So this is the stage where it is most stable. And by most stable, what I mean is the thermal expansion coming from the outwards pressure, which is coming from fusion in the core, releasing this energy, is being balanced by gravitational attraction, which is attracting all the mass back together. Okay, a star has a mass 100 times the sun. Discuss the likely cycles for this star. So it will go through the same original cycles, everything does: nebula, protostar, main sequence star. But then after that, rather than being a red giant, stars with a mass larger than the sun will turn into red supergiants, and those red supergiants will then undergo, eventually when they become unstable, supernova explosion. So that will happen to all of your red supergiants, and will leave behind, well, either a neutron star or a black hole. I've gone with black hole here because 100 times the mass of the sun is a very massive star and is capable of leaving behind a black hole, but could be a neutron star if it's just slightly bigger mass than the mass of our sun. Okay, so first question on the left: why do stars expand and contract? So why do they expand first? It's thermal expansion, and it is due to that energy being released from fusion, creating that outwards pressure from my star. And why would they contract? Gravitational attraction. So in different parts of your star's cycle, it undergoes this expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. And yeah, that's why. Okay, next, what causes a supernova and what is a black hole? So supernova is an imbalance of these forces, the thermal expansion and the gravitational attraction. And basically, eventually, the outwards pressure due to that thermal expansion just causes the star to explode, eject all of its outer layers. And it could leave behind a neutron star or a black hole, which is a point in space which is very, very dense, and nothing can escape from its gravitational attraction, not even light. Okay, what eventually makes the sun unstable in the main sequence phase? This is to do with what is powering the sun through the main sequence phase, and that is the release of energy due to hydrogen fusing together to form helium, and energy that gets released in that reaction. Basically, eventually you run out of hydrogen in the core to be used for fusion. So as you start to run out of hydrogen that can be fused together, you can imagine you don't have as much energy coming from your core, you don't have as much thermal expansion, so your gravitational attraction wins and your star collapses in, a gravitational collapse it says there. But then in turn, that collapse makes the star hot again and has the energy that it is then required for it to expand out into a red giant. Just before we go into the tips and tricks section, if you do want some extra advice to getting that grade 9 for your GCSE, then why not download my free 20-minute exam success guide? Just click on the link in the description below. I'm going to give away all of my best advice and secrets, and completely for free, so
Why not?
Tips and tricks. Firstly, learn the flow diagram from nebula, protostar, main sequence, red giant or supergiant, white dwarf for the red giant, supernova, and then black hole, neutron star. So you need to know that webbed flow diagram very well. Then next, expansion contraction. Yes, so you can talk about why a star is stable or unstable due to it expanding or contracting and why that is happening. So the thermal expansion due to fusion and the contraction due to gravitational attraction. Masses of stars, yes, the three fates of your star depending on its mass. Is it like the sun? Is it slightly more massive than the sun, or is it a lot more massive than the sun? And so will it end white dwarf sun or neutron star or black hole? So you need to know that its fate is basically determined by its mass.